Assalamualaikum students, welcome back to Pyaragar. So today I am going to discuss about the biological molecules. Among biological molecules, I will first discuss carbohydrates. For the definition of carbohydrate, I am not going to discuss are they organic compound or inorganic compound, but first I am going to tell you the constituent elements of the carbohydrates so that it will be easier for you to understand are they organic or inorganic. So let's have a check. Carbohydrates. If we break the word carbohydrate into carbo and hydrate as I have done over here, you can see that carbo comes from the word carbon and hydrate. In our childhood we have heard that keep your body hydrated and many more sentences like that. So the word hydrate actually means water, and water is itself composed of hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 2:1, which means that if we take 2 hydrogens, we take 1 oxygen and a water molecule is formed. Similarly, in case of carbohydrates, there is a carbon and water in the ratio as same as in the water. Means in carbohydrates, water the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen will be same as that it was in the water molecule. Means that hydrogen 2 times, oxygen 1 time. If hydrogen is 4 times, oxygen might be 2 times. Now the concept should be clear that they are organic or inorganic. To explain this, I have made a box over here and I have read the definition in somewhere in I think chemistry book, so I wrote here to clear your concept. The old definition of the organic compound says that all those compounds that are obtained from living organisms can be said the organic compounds. All those compounds that are obtained from living organisms are called the organic compounds. In this sense, we have studied that carbohydrates are obtained from animals, from plants, so it means that they can be obtained from the living source. From here it is clear that organic compounds include carbohydrate. But as the time goes on, the definition of every thing changes. As there is a change in the definition of organic compound. I have discussed the old definition. Now I am going to discuss the modern definition. The modern definition says that there is no concept of living or non-living. Actually, the compounds containing hydrogen and carbon are called the organic compounds. I'm sorry, I'm again saying carbohydrate because actually it is my topic, so there is a mistake, please ignore it. So the compounds containing hydrogen and carbon are called organic compounds, and in this way we can say that yes, carbohydrates again belong to organic compounds family because carbohydrates are also composed of carbon and oxygen. Now if we come towards the classification of organic compounds, obviously I'm not going to explain you in this short table. I will briefly explain you but for your ease, for you to make it easy, I have made a table, and in that table I have comprised the main points regarding the carbohydrate family. So first comes the monosaccharide. The word saccharide itself comes from the word saccharin, which means sugar. So mono means one and saccharin or saccharide means sugar. It means that monosaccharide comprises of all those carbohydrates which have only one sugar molecule. What does it mean? It does not obviously mean that there will be one carbon atom, but yes, it can be said that glucose for example, is a molecule which can be placed in the family of monosaccharides, and it is a molecule which cannot be further hydrolyzed. It is a monosaccharide. That simply means that all those molecules which cannot be further hydrolyzed can be included in the class of monosaccharides. We know that the general formula of glucose is C6H12O6. This means that glucose have 6 carbon atoms. So this also clarifies that monosaccharides are the carbohydrates that contain 2 to 10 carbon atoms. If we talk about carbon atoms, then there may be 2, 3, 4, means in the range of 2 to 10. But if we come towards the actual definition, then we can say that monosaccharides are those carbohydrates which cannot be further hydrolyzed. They consist of only one sugar molecule. Moreover, they are sweet in taste. They are soluble in water, means they can be easily dissolved, as you have seen that in a hot temperature, in heated stroke, we says that take a glass of glucose dissolved in water. So we have seen that glucose is a powdered like substance, like compound, and it is white in color. We have seen that it is very easily soluble in water. It is very easily dissolved, and it has a sweet taste. It is the example of our daily life. Then comes oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are the second member of the carbohydrate family. They can be hydrolyzed. For example, sucrose. Sucrose is itself composed of 2 sugar molecules, glucose and fructose. I will give you a hint to remember how we can say that sucrose is made up of glucose and fructose, because obviously I know that there are many other molecules that combine to form a single molecule, and it is not easy to remember all these. So I will give you a hint for that. But first have a look that oligosaccharides are those carbohydrates which on hydrolysis give 2 to 10 monosaccharides. If as I have told you that sucrose is an oligosaccharide, and it's itself composed of glucose and fructose. So if we look on the formula of glucose, it is a one monosaccharide, and fructose is another monosaccharide. Means sucrose contain 2 monosaccharides, and the range can be from 2 to 10. Means there may be any other carbohydrate that can belong to oligosaccharide, not sucrose is the only one. Polysaccharides are those which are composed of more than 10 monosaccharides. More than 10 monosaccharides unite together to form a polysaccharide. Means that on hydrolysis more than 10 monosaccharides can be obtained. Polysaccharides are sweetless, means they have no taste, and they are sparingly soluble in water, means it is too much hard to dissolve them in water. They cannot be dissolved. And similarly, oligosaccharides are moderate, means as monosaccharides are very sweet in taste, so they are less sweet in taste, and polysaccharides are sweetless, means they have no taste. Oligosaccharides are intermediate in sense of solubility also, as monosaccharides are readily soluble in water, polysaccharides hardly soluble in water, even not soluble in water, and oligosaccharides are intermediate, so they are slightly soluble in water. Now, as you have heard that the cell wall of a plant is composed of cellulose. So here you can see that cellulose belongs to the polysaccharide family. It means that it on hydrolysis it can give more than 10 monosaccharide units. Now when we will discuss discuss about the cell structure, then it will be easier for you to understand that what is cellulose, because you have now understood that cellulose is actually a carbohydrate, a polysaccharide, an organic compound that on hydrolysis gives more than 10 monosaccharide units, and it makes up the cell wall of a plant cell. Okay, now I have presented the general formula of monosaccharide, which indicates that if there are 6 carbon atoms, there will be 6 oxygen atom, and 6 multiplied by 2, 12 hydrogen atoms will be there in any carbohydrate if it is monosaccharide. Okay, let's just give you an example. For example, if I have CnH2nOn, okay, so if I have a general formula in this and I am going to put the values, so I will say CN4, let's take it as 3, C3H2, 3 2s are 6, and O6. The formula becomes, the molecular formula becomes C3H6O3, sorry, because ON, CnH2nO, C3H2, 3s are 6O3. Now if there are 3 carbon atoms, in case of monosaccharides only, it can be said as triose. If there are 4, it can be called as tetrose. Okay, now it's just an example, and there will be some other examples, but in case of CSS, you are not concerned with the examples. You just need to know the general formula, and this is the additional information which I have given you. But if you are first year student, then you have to learn the example. It might be asked. So in page number 27, these all examples are written. Okay, then come towards the oligosaccharides, which on hydrolysis give 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. I told you that I will give you some tricks to remember the composition of these oligosaccharides. These 3 are the main which can be asked. So just discussing these 3. So this states that glucose and fructose combine to give sucrose. The words I have highlighted are, okay, I will choose blue color, it's my favorite. Let's discuss. I have said that glucose, fructose and sucrose, okay, in the first equation, glucose and fructose gives sucrose. So it is the name of a renowned company, the GFS, the builders. So it can be remembered like that, the builders, GFS. Now it is written glucose and glucose combine to give maltose. This means that 2 glucose molecules combine to give maltose. What can be stated? That GFS builders hired 2 GM, means 2 general managers, and G for glucose, galactose, lactose. Glucose and galactose gives lactose. Now if we made some changes over here, just like I write GO or GA, it will be easier to remember that this belongs to the galactose. It's absolutely not regarding the exam, the trick I am going to discuss, but it will make you remember that it's glucose, galactose gives lactose. So it can be remembered like that. GFS builders hired 2 general managers or 2 GM, and they are now working on Google. Google have example, spelling G-O-O-G-L-E. So here you can see that there are 2 G and 1 L, so it can be easily remembered like that. That GFS builder hired 2 GM, 2 general managers, and they are now working on Google. Okay, glucose fructose gives sucrose, GFS. Glucose gives maltose, 2 GM. Glucose galactose gives lactose, Google. I think it has become now much more easier. Okay, so now I have discussed these 3 oligosaccharides, and these belong to the disaccharide family. Means one monosaccharide and the second monosaccharide, they become 1, 2. 2 monosaccharides combine to give a single molecule. Means it is the composition of a disaccharide. Means 2 monosaccharides, 2 is can be stated as di, so disaccharides gives sucrose, and all the 3 are similar, they are disaccharides. And if we talk about the oligosaccharides that contain 3 to 10 carbon atoms, then they are actually 3 to 10 monosaccharides, then they are actually called dextrin, DEXTRIN. Alright, so here the content of the video finished. Okay, polysaccharides are left. Polysaccharide is not so difficult to understand. There are only some examples about polysaccharides, that they include starch, cellulose, and glycogen. Glycogen is called the animal starch, and it is found in animals. The word animal starch indicates that as starch is present in plants, similarly starch-like substance is present in animals called glycogen. Cellulose is found only in plant cell in case of cell wall. Here the video finished. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'm so sorry I extended the video to 17 minutes, but I will absolutely try my best to make the video as much shorter as I can. Please subscribe my channel and stay connected. Allah Hafiz.